Hello race fans, Peter Mackay here welcoming you to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series presented by Proforma Elite Texas Graphics. We're welcoming you to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada for what is sure to be another cracking race here in the Ricmotech Sim Racing Paddock. Joining me in the commentary box this evening is my esteemed colleague Austin Knight, and in production, bringing you these wonderful graphics and images, is Dennis Branch. Now, without further ado, let's have a little tour around this beautiful street circuit and learn a little bit more about its unique layout.
Welcome everyone to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, located here in Montreal, Canada. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today around this 2.7 mile road course. The course was originally constructed all the way back in 1978 and sits right in the middle of the beautiful St. Lawrence River here in Montreal. Well, let's head up the front straightaway to give you a lap around this incredible track as we see our main pit area to the left, our spectator area to the right as we head down this fast entry into turn one, crossing the stripe there and getting down through the gears into this heavy brake zone of turn one. Left-hander that wraps back. We want to track out and try to get a tight wrapping through the apex of turn two there, and then slowly back to the throttle as we come up this little short chute here and look for that entry into turn three. This gets even tighter here. Too wide here is just about impossible as that car wants to track out to the wall. We head up into turn five, this very fast wrapping right-hander. Set the car up wide right here to get this tight entry into turn six. Then back to the right through seven and up through the gears, tracking right out to the wall once again. Here's where the overtaking starts here on the lap as we head down this little short backstretch into the very difficult 8 and 9 right-handers. Through 8 and then back to the left through 9. Right out to the wall there once again to get that speed up onto another short straightaway here that's going to lead us down to the famous hairpin here at Villeneuve. Turn 10. Down through the gears, heavy brake zone here once again, down into second gear to get that very nice tight bottom wrap around that apex, and then wide exit, and then back up onto Casino Straight. This will take us to what's known as turn 11, just a slight right-hander here on the backstretch. And certainly overtaking opportunities here. The longest straightaway here at the course. Of course, coming down into this brake zone, this is where the overtaking takes place. But boy, you've got a tough challenge here through the final chicane and the Wall of Champions to the right. Right off the curb and back up onto the front straightaway here as we head back towards turn one. There you go. There's your track guide for this very tricky and daunting course of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Thank you for being with us.
Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. I hope you enjoyed that little guide of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal. Austin, what are these drivers going to be looking for? What are the pitfalls? Where are the opportunities around this unique street circuit layout tonight?
Well, Montreal is a very interesting circuit indeed. It's all about drafting, it's all about speed, and a little bit of strategy and placement. You got turn one all the way through 4, that opening complex, very tight and twisty. Excellent idea to try to send a move down onto the inside of the opening corner, or look for the outside move and take advantage of that second turn and go up to the inside. It's longer, it is a lot easier to do it, but watch out on the exit because whoever had the inside going to turn 1 will have the outside, will have the speed heading into treacherous turns 3 and 4, and it starts that chicane area. Now in those chicanes, there are some opportunities to head into the braking zone down to the inside, but it's very tricky to actually pull a corner off there. Biggest move is probably going to be the hairpin. You go up to the inside and to send a big old move right there, but hey, whoever has the better exit is going to have the express advantage down Casino Street and heading into that final chicane. But be careful for that exit because you might hit the Wall of Champions.
And that Wall of Champions is not forgiving in the slightest, is it? We've seen that so many times. Of course, we were here a couple of weeks ago for the Classic Sprint Series, and well, we were treated to a classic with this, particularly with the Spec Miatas with an absolute punch-up for the win there. And I think, Austin, I'm looking at the TCR class tonight. We've got two classes running, the GT4s and the TCR class. And, well, last time at Watkins Glen, the TCR class, well, that was somewhere between UFC and a Royal Rumble. It was absolutely extraordinary. But between Carlisle, List and Violette, I think we're going to be in for another cracker here in the TCR class.
Yeah, I expect a... Well, last time we had about a 30-minute screaming fight, just absolutely on fire battle, and definitely a highlight of my commentating career, because I forgot to breathe about 5 times, and that's a new one. But I'm expecting to lose my breath about 10 times today, because it can only get better between these drivers.
Certainly can. I have to be honest, Austin, you're normally a very excitable chap, but that was a new level of excitement. I have to say it was for me too. That was a whole lot of fun, that TCR battle, and although incredibly exciting, but there was also an air of inevitability that it was going to end up in tears. As we see our drivers now getting out on track, they've got 4 laps of opportunity to get out there and set the fastest lap they possibly can to get the critical spot on the grid. So, also we've got a little bit of a rule change for the race starts, thanks to our organiser Kevin Ford informing us of that. The pole sitter will now have complete control over the field, so when they exit the final chicane, they then can either, the GT4 leader or pole sitter I should say, can go as soon as they exit that chicane, or they can wait for the iRacing green. But any time in between that, they can choose. So kind of gives them the advantage, gives them the jump as the pole sitter. And then the same will apply for the TCR. So hopefully that will spread things out a little bit coming into the Ayrton Senna chicane. But Austin, that particular corner, that particular sector is going to always be tricky as the race goes on, but particularly on lap 1. We've got to watch for that.
Yeah, lap 1, well, it always comes into a traffic jam, but lap 1 here makes a traffic jam seem tame. This is a New York City style traffic jam and Montreal style traffic jam. I can say both these cities are kind of comparable. They're very old, they're very crowded, and they have a lot of man-made islands. And speaking of man-made islands, this entire track is built on a man-made island, bored out from all the soil that's on this island is bored out from the city tunnels that they did for their underground tunnel project.
Well, it's a history. Well, the heritage behind this Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is incredible. Of course, originally called Circuit Notre Dame, and the first ever Formula One Grand Prix that was hosted here in 1978 was won by Gilles Villeneuve himself. In fact, his first ever Grand Prix victory, an incredibly fitting result, really. And after his untimely death in 1982, the circuit was renamed in his honour. And well, of the 6 Grand Prix he won, Gilles Villeneuve won 3 of those on street circuits, one at Monaco, one at Long Beach, and one here in Montreal. And with that incredible head leaning to the side style, well, it's he's someone that many race fans have very much a soft spot for. So we have reached about half's time for qualifying right now. At the moment in GT4, Aero Nom is sitting on the pole position right now, 1 minute 43.115, with Elvis Rankin just over 0.3 of a second behind. So Aero Nom looking very, very strong so far. In TCR, the ultimate pace there, 1 minute 47.4. So that's pretty quick as well.
That top 3 is just looking intense right now, and this might turn into a TCR stream. Warner, Carlisle, and Violet all within a 1/10 of each other as Carlisle comes across the line right now to go to provisional pole by a 1/10, a 1:47.299. For Kevin Carlisle. And also improving their time, Aero Nom puts it up a 1:42.769 to be 7/10 clear of the field. This is absolutely a big advantage for Aeronaut. He absolutely loves this track, and Montreal, it takes a certain type of tee to really get used to Montreal. It's kind of weird cadence of corners, but when you just nail it down, Montreal just rewards you in the best way. And if you can get clear of anyone off the start, you'll be having a very easy race, because if there's a traffic jam behind you in the opening corners, I've seen this in the Formula 3.5 series, there might be a wreck, and you could just drive clear to have like a minute gap behind you, which actually did happen. But still got to worry about the rest of the course. This track is a bit tricky, especially on track limits, so you got to not a lot of ways to extend the track cleanly, or else you might get a slowdown penalty, or if you're Sebastian Vettel, a 5-second time penalty.
Oh, that would be touching a nerve for the Ferrari fans. Of course, that was a great battle, wasn't it? Remember that a couple of years ago?
It was a fantastic battle, and as a Ferrari fan, I was pissed.
I have to say, I'm not just saying this to be nice, as I always am. I have to say, I didn't agree with the penalty. I presume you didn't agree with it either.
Oh, I didn't, and I have a gif of Vettel moving the one.
It's a good one, isn't it?
I watched that race back just for that moment.
That is very good indeed. But yeah, Aeronom, well, he's for the Estonian, he is incredibly quick. And you mentioned that the dominance that you can sometimes see at this circuit, Austin, that in the classic sprint series a couple of weeks ago, he really was dominant in his Ford Mustang.
Yeah, dominance is absolutely just what this guy has in droves, and really no one can touch him. So we take a look through the fields of our GT4s. Here's Cameron Martin coming out of the hairpin right now. Now, the key to this hairpin is it's the exit. The entrance, that is quite important, but it's actually the widest exit that you should aim for, just barely kissing the wall. So if you want to miss the apex going to this hairpin, especially on the start of your qualifying lap, do it. It will give you a lot of time and speed. Just don't kill it all like Cameron did right there by hopping onto these curves and turning your four-wheeled Porsche into a two-wheeled Porsche. This ain't a motorcycle. Later on in the race, you're going to be seeing a lot of cars attempt that boot scoot boogie across those chicanes. And maybe a rally cross jump. But as we're getting ready to get this race started and qualifying over, I think it's time to recap over our championship standings. Sitting on top of the GT4 Pro, it's Mike Dam with 137 points ahead of Aeronom. Elvis Rankin sits in third, while top three guys, 137, 129, is tied for second between Aero and Elvis. And it's a big gap to Jacob Beasley in fourth, followed by Paul Gibson, Arthur Chan, Chris Thorman, Trent Brown, Cameron Martineau, Tyler Shiflett, Tony Chow, David Payton, Kevin Ford, Cameron Bidwell, Steve Daniel, Jeff Jacobs, Derek Holland, and Jennifer McDonald in 18th. They're followed by Tony Kernan, Travis Schwenke, Matthew Gosh, Jordan Feike, Leon Wright, Chris Shieldsmith, Russ Ruddick, Robert Hartley, Brendan Harani, and DJ Alessandri. Followed by Randall McGrew, Greg Brockway, Lucas Ford, Colin Weatherholt, Greg Mack, Jared Jedwell, Edu Waskman, Chris Baumgartner, Clint Vegas, Mitchell Peak, Mike Taylor, Jason Christ, and Ryan Reeves, who hasn't scored a point yet this season. Hopefully, he can soon. Actually, he's not, because he's not in the field today. And is Peter back?
Just sorting some technical issues, Austin, but I couldn't have said those championship standings better myself. Bear with me just a moment, viewers. We're in very safe hands with my esteemed Texan colleague.
All right, TCR standings. Brandon Whitworth is up there on top, leading by 2 points ahead of Matthew Warner. Henderson Knox at 109 points sits in third, followed by Edgar Santinelli, Kevin Ladd, Tyler Vickery, Eric Violet, Kevin Lavender, Bobby Childs, Kevin Carlisle, Mike Key, Riley Downey, Jim Liss, Chad Parker, Matthew Madigan, Evan Wood, John Ford in 17th place. And our TCR Pro, and I believe our qualifying is nearing an end right now. And by ending, I mean in a minute and 20 seconds. We're looking at Anthony Kerman as he comes around that turns 1 and 2 complex. Currently sitting in 10th place, almost 2 seconds behind Aeronom at the start. Ooh, those guys at the start of this race might need to pray for a little bit of a send heading into turn 1 to try to keep Aeronom in the reach of the rest of the field, and hopefully his draft will suck them in and keep them with him throughout the race. If you're in our YouTube chat and have any questions about the series or want us to cover any specific driver or bring up some interesting facts about some of these guys or just want to say hi, feel free to type in chat. And if you're new to Apex Racing TV and are just brought to you by the wonderful algorithms up on YouTube, hi, give a like, give a subscribe, because there's a lot more racing here on almost every day here on Apex Racing TV. As qualifying passes 15 minutes and the checker flags are out, I think it's time we get ready to go racing. But first, we need to look at our starting grid. Starting up on pole, it's Aeronom, followed by Elvis Rankin, followed by Paul Gibson, Mike Dam, Jacob Beasley, Kevin C. Ford, Cameron Martineau, Tyler Shiflett, Colin Weatherholt, Anthony Kernan, Cameron Bidwell, David Payton in 12th place. Behind them in 13th is going to be Jeff Jacobs, Chris Thorman, Arthur Chan, Matthew Gosh, Derek Holland, Steve G. Daniel, Robert Hartley, George Feike, Chris Shieldsmith, Russ Ruddick, and Greg Brockway in 23rd. We have a little bit of a graphical issue right there. Our TCR field, Kevin Carlisle is starting up on pole, followed by Eric Violet, Andrew List, Matthew Warner, Edgar Santinelli, Matthew Madigan, Riley Downey, Brandon Whitworth, Henderson Knox, Michael Key, and Tyler Lugo Vickery, who is actually a commentator for us. So, I get to have some free jabs to him, I believe, sometimes during this race, right? I get the thumbs up from producer, right? All right, sweet. But as they all sit on the casino straight and just getting ready, a little bit of talk from the race marshal about our starting procedures today. I think it's time to get ready, to get hyped, to get absolutely excited. Crack open a cold one because we're about to go racing here at Montreal.
And I think I am back with you, viewers. Just a little bit of a technical issue. Must be something to do with Scottish internet. I'm going to blame it on that. I'm going to use my nationality to blame for once.
All right, I'm going to use my localization to let everyone know that that wasn't a beer I just cracked open.
No, I can back you up on that one. I was going to say you live life like a monk, Austin, but that would be incorrect, of course. When it comes to alcohol, you do. In fact, in Belgium, the monks make some excellent beer, actually. whether they consume it or not.
We're not in
sure.
Zolder. We're in Canada. We gotta say
it's a
what
shame.
Canadian monks do.
Yeah, they'll have a Molson. They actually have a brilliant beer in it's a Belgian style beer brewed in Canada called Flat Tire, and it is much nicer than the original form of a flat
Green
tire,
flag,
which
green
of
flag.
course is incredibly inconvenient. Anyway, our drivers are coming round. The revs are up and they are off here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series as they pile down towards the Ayrton Senna chicane, and here are our TCR runners now as they come round the Wall of Champions chicane. There's number 727 Carlisle, and he guns it. Is he waiting? But he has to be careful. He has to wait.
He's gotta wait. He's gotta wait for the line. He's gotta wait for the line.
Here we go.
And now they go.
Here they go then.
I would not do good in the starting situation. I would have already jumped in. Oh, second place in the back row. They're fanning out. This is a late start, and it's almost chaos at the line. But who was that? It was the 51 car that had a extremely bad. That was injured List. And the 61. And oh, carnage behind him. Warner, Matty, and Carlisle goes wide. Multiple cars get hit, and I know one of these cars has the words "no punt" written on the back of it. We go back to our GT4 class. Ellis Rankin is in the lead ahead of Earl Nam. Mike Dam in third, followed by Kevin C. Ford and Paul Gibson, your top five. Earl Nam looked out to the inside, but Elvis Rankin swinging around the outside to defend, and he's jumped from second all the way up to first, and now we got a fight in the GT4s, bumper to bumper here. Having a drag race down Casino Straight. Everyone's staying in that line, staying in that draft. It's the opening lap. Don't have to make moves on the opening lap because this is an endurance race. But oh, we got a mirror that has fallen off of one of the Porsches. Not sure which Porsche that is, but we do have a mirror on track. It was just a slight contact with the Wall of Champions. And I don't know a lot of drivers who actually look at that mirror. So it might actually give him a little bit of aerodynamic advantage. It's definitely giving him a weight advantage. Ranking to Aeronam. Race sent down to turns 6 and 7. Let's see which turns there are by the giant base number behind each turn. But Kevin Ford in one of 2 BMWs in the field, sitting comfortably in 4th following this Porsche train. Looking down to the inside. He's thought about it, decided that was the best idea to try to send it. It is early on in the race, so it's a 1-hour race, endurance race, not a sprint race. Even though it kind of is a sprint race compared to what most sports car series run, which is about 1.5 hours. So it's a sprint race, but you still got to think of it like it's a long game than a short game. Just like golf. Think about the long game, not the short game. If you're bad at short game like I am, think about the long game. I'm sure Peter can back me up that it's all about the drives in golf, right?
Well, they say putt drivers show putt for dough. And it's no truer saying than that. You can be truly terrible but in a short game can make it all up.
Alright, and that just shows you how much I know about golf.
But really, I mean, what's the fun in that? Hitting driver is clearly what golf is all about. Hitting big, massive drives is, well, that's what it's really about. That's why I'm not a professional golfer.
Yeah, hitting massive drives straight is something I can't do. But I can hit them curling right.
Distance always more important than direction.
Yeah. Anyway, back onto our TCR round. TCR cars. Eric Violet leading out Matthew Madigan. And Matthew Woodward, everyone in the top 3 didn't, except for Eric, did it start there? There's chaos at the start for our leaders. Kind of want to see a replay of what actually happened to them. But Violet and Madigan nose to tail for each other, but the 2CR class taking it a very easier ride today than what we are used to. But hey, is this going to get even more crazier as Aeronom looking down to the inside of Elvis Rankin. Nom down to the inside, hops on the curve. Rankin swings it around the outside, holding it down to the inside. Nom's going to have the better pace, but watch out on Nom's inside. That's Mike Dam looking to make a surprise move into second place. Aeronom going out all the way to the grass. Mike Dam not going to find it. And watch out for Kevin C. Ford. He might make a gain on these guys, make it a 4-car battle.
Okay, I think I'm back now, Austin. I think I'm looking at the same thing as you, and I'm seeing my life through your eyes, Austin, so that's good. We're back. I'm now looking at Kevin C. Ford. Hopefully you are as well. He's our top BMW runner right now in the number 32 machine, and he was saying that the BMWs have just got that slightly better top end than the Porsches, and also the Porsches are getting a little bit upset over the curbs, which of course is not good around this particular round.
Yeah, the Porsche doesn't really like getting thrown over onto two wheels, and I call it the Porcherellis because they tend to just die whenever you hit a curve. And you know how Italians make their cars very flashy, frail, and Porsche being a German company will not like me saying that.
Well, there are parts of Italy where they speak German. In fact, near the famous driving road, the Stelvio Pass, they actually do speak They do speak German in that part of Italy as well. But anyway, they head down the casino straight here, gambling away, putting on their bets, seeing who can make their way through in these drafting battles. And I have to say, I mean, we say it every week, Elvis Rankin, incredibly impressive. I was looking at the times in practice, and Aeronom very much had the ultimate race pace. And one lap pace also, but Rankin, well, he's done what he needs to do. He's got his nose in front and slowed Nom's pace down, and that is exactly what he needed to do. Break his rhythm early, and well, the young teenage superstar is doing well. He continues to amaze us.
Yeah, look at our top three. He's definitely amazing, but my damn, I'm surprised he is keeping up with Aeronom and Elvis Rankin, because I was looking at his times, and he was kind of the start of the rest of the best, and, well, he's sitting at third now, and he's still with them, and he's actually lost his right mirror.
Oh, well, it's a good job it's a left-hand drive car. So, yeah, he'll need to be using the rear view mirror a little bit more as well, and you're right, he's right there, and look at that, a little bit of damage, he's obviously been a little bit of a scuff in the wall. Yeah, he's kissed the wall. My apologies, I must have missed that when I was trying to be Inspector Gadget.
I'm not sure which wall.
If I were to guess, I would imagine Wall of Champions.
I'm not going to say Wall of Champions. I think it's going to be turns 3 and 4 where he actually kissed it.
Oh, okay.
Because it is actually an easier wall to hit than the Wall of Champions. Because the Wall of Champions, if you hit that, your car is going to be toast. His car looks fine. It just looks like he just gave it a little bit of rub going wide outside of 3 and 4. But hey, we'll watch the replay and we'll put some money down on it.
Okay, we can call it the Wall of Bronze Medalists. Because he's still in the third position, and Aeronom, fastest lap of the race so far, 1 minute 44.270. Wow, much quicker than Elvis Rankin on that lap, but Rankin, he's got himself a nice little cushion there, one that he maybe wouldn't have expected coming into the race, doing a great job. And like you said, Austin, Mike Dam, well, he's never far away, is he? So consistent, doesn't matter if it's in the Miata, if it's in his 911 RSR like we saw at Zolder last week, or in his GT4, he's always there fighting for the victory.
Yeah, as we're looking at the TCRs right now as they go through the chicane, a big hit, and oh, Carlisle eats up the wall of champions. Hard front nose impact. He lost a mirror, but if you look at that front nose, it's crunched up bad. That was a big eat out of the wall.
Dear, well, it's not going so well today for Kevin Carlisle. Of course, he was the big winner. He was the big winner up until the last lap, and involved in that incredible battle with Brandon Whitworth. But neither of those drivers, who were so dominant at Watkins Glen, neither of them are featuring for the win. So it's all changing. TCR, as we say, Aero Nom, he's right in the draft. Is he going to make a move here on Elvis Rankin? He goes to the inside.
Oh, he's got
shows
it all
his nose.
red.
He's got it done.
He's putting it all on red. Aerodom hops down to the inside curb and jumps into the lead down Casino Straight. And through the last chicane, we have one car that decided to take the easy route and that slowed down penalty. But Aerodom back into the lead of this race at Montreal. 7 laps in, 10 minutes down.
Sorry, Austin. Slow down penalty there for Kevin Ford in the leading BMW coming out of the Wall of Champions. We saw it so many times 2 weeks ago in the Classic Sprint Series, where unfortunately we saw many slow down penalties, and that's been Kevin Ford really lost a couple of places there as well. Now for Elvis Rankin, he's got to do the Troy Bayliss special here. He's got to try and snap straight back. He can't let Aero Nom get into a rhythm. Aero Nom in practice was knocking out sub 1 minute 44 laps for fun, so he can't allow him to get into that rhythm, and he's right on the gearbox doing exactly what he needs to do, is young Elvis Rankin, and Mike Dam right there in the background.
Now they're coming up to the hairpin. If Aero Nom defends down to the inside, that's going to bite him in the butt. Aero wants to keep that inside clear because Elvis might try to send it, but both of them are going to take the regular racing line. And I think we're going to get another drag race down the Casino Straight. But knowing these guys and knowing these cars, I don't think we're going to get a move down to the inside. But watch out for Mike Dam. He's looking a little bit feisty.
He certainly is, yeah. That whatever damage he's got on that car, it's not holding him back right now, and hopefully it's light enough he'll be able to get it fixed in the pit stop. But yeah, now that's interesting. Elvis Rankin, he did get a little bit of oversteer just when he was putting the power on, coming out of the hairpin. Whoa! Shefflett spins right round, and he's looking in the up. Oh dear! Nearly takes out the driver coming back. I'm not sure who that was, but Tyler Shiflett. What were you saying about Apex Racing commentators?
That is not Vickery.
Different Tyler. Different Tyler.
Tyler Vickery is not in last place. That's all I can say. And look at this TCR switchback on. That turned the TCR car into a rally car right there. Just a little less quieter turbo. But Violet leading out from the charging Madigan. Matthew Madigan going absolutely mad back there as they race down the Casino Straight. They're side by side. Who's going to have the most guts? Who's going to bet it all on red? A little bit of an early break for Matthew Madigan, which backs to the field with Madigan. He's got a great run. Madigan looking down to the inside. Side by side they go, and Madigan's in the lead. Right beside Violet. They're going to be side by side. Hey, you know what's better than 2 wide? Almost 3 wide. As Warner wanted to make that 3 wide, but Madigan leads him into turn 1, followed by Violet and Warner. The TCR battle is kicking off.
I have to say, Violet was very, very lucky not to get a slowdown penalty there. He may well have done. He may well be serving it more slowly, but maybe perhaps not. No, looks like he's okay, so he's going to hold second position. Watch Violet. He's got very, very strong race pace. In practice, 18 laps under a 1 minute 48 out of 24 laps that I looked at. So he's got really strong race pace, but in these battles sometimes race pace can go out the window, and it's all about how you get your elbows out, how you fight. Oh dear, who's that got into the wall?
That was Beasley. No, that was Weatherholt. I thought that was Beasley, but Weatherholt looks like he just misses breaking point. He went into the wall, and he's driven into the pit lane. And I think that was just a mistimed pit stop. And look at Beasley. He's getting into the back of Kernon. Kernon and Beasley are having a fight behind that big Beamer of Kevin Ford. Because that big Beamer's not the best in the corners, unlike these Porsches, but that Beamer has all the top speed in the world compared to these little itty-bitty Porsches. And oh, Beasley just got a little bit of tail slap, and he went to wall. Now he's missing a mirror.
Yeah, that BMW M4 is a bit of a monster. 3-litre straight six with two big chunky twin turbos on there, and it really boogies down the straight, and Kevin's able to defend here with the two little Porsches, the nimble Porsches right behind. Just while we're looking at this, the fuel stops we're expecting in this 1 hour race, every driver needs to take their fuel stop. For the GT4s, their pit stop window isn't open yet. Anywhere between lap 12 and lap 22, they can come in for their pit stop. And for the TCRs, they have a much narrower window, so pit lane's going to be busy for them between lap 15 and 18. So no pit stops yet, but it's going to be interesting to see if our leaders, how they decide to take that stop.
Yeah, it's all about strategy sometimes, and especially in Montreal, in a big drafting track. Strategy is going to be the one that ultimately wins. We saw some interesting strategies. When the fuel stop opens, we saw a car take the fuel stop extremely early in the GT3 race and the GT Championship race last week at Zolder. They ended up on the podium. Are we going to see somebody try that extremely early stop again?
Yeah, that was Travis Schwenke who made that work, and it did. It worked an absolute treat, that slightly alternative strategy. But look at this. We missed it while we were watching that amazing TCR battle. This is often the problem. Oh, it's one of Elvis Rankin's mirrors falls off, so he's had a little bit of a rub with the wall. Elvis Rankin, while we were watching TCR, managed to edge ahead of Aero Nom. But, actually, no, Elvis hasn't lost his mirror. It must have been somebody else's mirror that was sitting on the tarmac and just kicked it out the way there. So, interesting stuff. Elvis Rankin doing what he needs to do, and Aero Nom not having it his own way at all. And Mike Dam always there. He's got such a wise head on his shoulder. Is Mike Dam a very, very experienced sim racer, and he's clearly just playing rear gunner right now, waiting to see what happens with these two chaps in front of him.
Yeah, Elvis sporting a new paint scheme because he's actually joined a new team.
I have to say I'm a big fan of it. It's a beautiful paint scheme, that lovely blue and white. It's almost Scottish saltire colours. Very, very nice. I like it a lot with those little arrows on it too. Very cool. A nice paint scheme there as well. White, red and black. The colours of our sponsors, Ricmotech, high performance sim racing equipment. And looking very nice as well. And Mike Dam with his bright orange Crypto G? Am I pronouncing that correctly, Austin?
Crypto G.
Crypto G.
I said, well, it's not pronounced Crypto G. I was just emphasizing the O because last time I saw that name, my dyslexia said Cryptology, and I got absolutely roasted in the comments by that.
Well, the Sir Jackie Stewart three-time world champion is dyslexic, so the people in the YouTube chat, they can just be quiet.
Yeah. But got a little bit slowly coming out of that opening sector, so he's running a very loose setup, but Aero Nom is actually falling a bit behind from Elvis Rankin as we're just going through the gauntlet right now here in Montreal. Just watch Mike Dam work and just fight that wheel through that car from the straight.
Yeah, just coming as soon as you get any kind of curb strike at all, it gets a little bit wiggly. Of course, the Porsche mid-engine, which does make it agile, does make it maneuverable, but sometimes a little bit too maneuverable. Of course, the BMW a bit more. Oh, look at the Aero Nom slow down penalty from Aero Nom, so that's crucial. Look at the gap.
Oh, no.
Wow, the punishment does not fit the crime. Wow, but look at this also. For a little bit of respite, maybe for Aero Nom, though, we're coming onto the back of the TCR field, so that traffic is going to play a factor here. And well, Elvis Rankin now, what can he do? Can Mike Dam keep up? Can Elvis Rankin put in some qualifying laps and really break away? Well, that Audi TCR car might just be at just the wrong point for Aero Nom as they come into the Hall of Champions. Oh, this is heating up very nicely here, Austin.
That Aero Nom falling off the back is absolutely crucial, but he's still within the draft. If Rankin and Dan start fighting, he will catch up. But if they don't, Aeronom will have the risk of falling behind. If I was Aeronom, and this is the only way I could get clean air, I might see him trying that early pit stop, and he's slowed down again. Aeronom's got another slowdown.
Oh dear, that is not good news at all for Aeronom. And you make
The
a great
BMW
point there.
slowed him down. The BMW slowed him down. We need a replay to see on how much Aeronom was just held up by that.
See, you mean the TCR car, the Audi, or was there a BMW I've not noticed on screen?
You know, I'm getting actually size confused. Yes, that was a TCR, not a BMW.
No problem. Both
Dyslexia
from Germany.
works for car models, right?
Yeah,
Dyslexia
absolutely.
Okay, yes.
Absolutely
I have an
does,
excuse.
yes.
I have an excuse.
Absolutely does. It's a different language as well, Audi and Porsche, BMW. Anyway, Aeronom, you're right. A great point there, Austin, about the fuel window. So for the GT4 car, you're right. He could come in here if he wanted to, but he's only, what's he, 1.1, about 1 second or so, and right in draft range there on screen we can see. So he's certainly in touch with Mike Damon and Elvis Rankin.
He's
so
hot
let's
lapping,
see.
I could guarantee you.
Yes, he's all of a sudden engaged, put the brain in the jar and go for it mode. And that, whoa, look at that big hop rally crossing over the curb there. And do you think he's pushing Austin? It looks like it.
Yeah, does just need a bit. Yes, he is definitely pushing. I thought he was held up. Apparently not. This just puts it in the fastest lap of the race. A 1:44.1, almost a second faster than Rankin. Actually, he is a second faster than Rankin, and 9/10 faster than Mike Dam. But he is still so far behind him. I think Dam and Rankin had a little bit of a moments at the hairpin.
I think 44 flat, of course, that was the fastest lap of the race of any driver. I think he really did push. And I have to say, Austin, that is ominous for later in the race, because Nom was a long way back after that slowdown penalty, and basically he was able to turn that pace on like a switch, and even around traffic, as you rightly spotted, and all of a sudden he's right on the gearbox of Mike Dam now. Elvis Rankin, well, this is, if Elvis Rankin's got the pace, now is the time he's really got to deploy. Oh my goodness! Wow, Mike Dam did very, very well there not to tag the back of Elvis Rankin, and that actually probably held Aeronom up ever so slightly as well. So Elvis, no doubt he will have seen that in his mirror. He might well have felt that. He certainly would have heard it, and that might just give him an ever so slight breathing space. But this long casino straight, even for these GT4s, which aren't actually renowned for massive draft advantage, it is long enough to get that little bit of draft benefit.
Yeah, Mike Dam. Is he setting up his own shipping company? Because that was a sand into the hairpin.
Was, yeah. Well, he needs to invest in some new anchors if he is, because they weren't working. They weren't slowing him down enough. He needs new anchors to get him to slow down. So, well, they're just such a close battle here. We saw this with Mike Dam versus Elvis Rankin a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen, and quite honestly, we didn't give them the camera time they deserved, because there was just a complete fireworks show going off in TCR. But today, well, this is a highly, highly skilled tactical battle. It seems to me that Aeronom does have the ultimate pace underneath that car, but not enough to be able to break away. In fact, not even enough to get to the front of the group at this stage.
Well, he did go plaid last lap and did catch up to the rest of the field. But Mike Dam, we got a shot of his right side of the car. It looks a bit chafed up. He did get into the wall, and that, look at the back right of that car. It is chafed in. He might be struggling with a bit of a toe in on that backward wheel, because it's not the cleanest right side of the car, and it is a little bit smushed in there, and it's a bit lopsided.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if that damage is holding him back, Mike Dam, the pace he's running is even more impressive. because he's right there in the sandwich between Rankin and Nom. So we are
He's struggling in the braking zone.
He's maybe had another strike perhaps, but he certainly is able to hold the pace. But he's just following Elvis Rankin beautifully, and Elvis Rankin's car looks perfect.
Sorry for keep trying to cut you off, but if you look at the front right tire, that camber that tire has, it's absolutely cranked out there, and the left side tire is actually perfectly straight. But if you get a front shot, if you look at that tire, it's a bit cambered out there, and I hope we can ride on board Mike Dam soon to see if he is crabbing just a little bit. But we're riding on the back of Elvis Rankin, and look at that front right tire. That is not straight.
That's extraordinary. I have to say, you're well spotted, Austin, but I have to say, that makes this drive for Mike Dam even more impressive. That because we all know, like, if you've got damage and you've got a little bit of steering, if it's bent or the suspension's damaged or what have you, it makes it really virtually impossible to run any kind of pace at all. So interesting.
It's only minor. It's only minor.
Yeah, but even that, just that little feeling can sometimes put you off. So for Mike Dam, I would suggest that he really needs to, if he can run this pace well with these guys, he probably wants to stick with them as long as he can and run this. Aeronom, very close there. He probably needs to run this as long as he can, because clearly being in the group with Elvis Rankin and Aeronom is really helping Mike Dam right now if he is nursing that damage.
The one thing that tire is going to be hurting him, we saw it already last lap, his braking points. He's going to be braking. He's going to be very squirrely under braking. Here goes Aeronom. Look down to the inside. Watch Mike Dam. But Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin pull the ultimate gotcha and go into the pits, leaving Aeronom to go on. But Aeronom's got a slowdown penalty because, oh my goodness, we got to crash in the chicane. We got to crash in the chicane. Aeronom's got a slowdown. I think we just had a time warp or something. What just happened right here? This is Chris Shieldsmith. And oh no.
Oh dear. That's a big one. It's the number 31 car
and the 44.
There. Yeah, that's the stewards immediately onto it there, and well, a lot of damage. That other Cayman there has been turned. Shieldsmith's car has been turned into a touring specification with the rear wing removed. So our poor old TCR battle, we've been watching this GT4 battle, and look at this. Madigan still leading from Violet with List in third. So List, he's got a lot of pace underneath that car as well. He was running some good sub 1 minute 48s in practice, so he's definitely in the fight here. Make no mistake about it. But this is going to be fascinating to see how long does Mike Dam spend in the pit lane. Does he get any of that damage fixed and lose that vital track position?
He is going to have to worry about that damage, but I want to be worried about Aeronom as third in that PCR battle. Actually got a slowdown penalty. Aeronom got a slowdown penalty because he avoided chicane. He was so caught off guard. He was using the other cars as the braking point, but the chicane braking point and the pit stop braking point are completely different. And Aeronom, he went with the pit stop guys, and he realized he overshot the chicane and had to take a slowdown penalty. So he needs to put his head down, become Aeronom, and put in some dang good plaid laps to try to build up that gap as far as he can before heading into the pits and try to monster overcut Elvis Rankin and Mike Dam, who are currently sitting 8th and 9th right now.
Yeah, I think this is where we're going to see Aeronom really open up the taps and really deploy that pace that I feel he's just been holding back up to now, running in the pack comfortably. He's got a TCR car in front of him here, holding up ever so slightly into the chicane. But yeah, I think this is, you're right, Austin, that big overcut. He's still got a little bit of the fuel window left. He can go to lap 22 if he really wants to. We're on lap 17 right now, and while he's got that clean air, being able to open up his proper pace, he might well just want to use that clean air and then just, try, like you say, try and overcut Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin, who pitted earlier.
I believe that is exactly what Aeronom wants to do. He loves clean air. Clean air has no negatives on it. You don't have to worry about other cars being around you, the draft of other cars affecting your car just a little bit, if at all. So, Aeronom is in his element right now. You can kind of treat this as a very highly intense practice session where he has to be perfect on every lap. Which sounds like a lot of pressure, but we've seen a few drivers do it, and Aeronom is definitely in that caliber. And we just need to compare laps on Elvis Rankin and Mike Dam to Aeronom and watch that gap between these two drivers. Because currently, the gap between Elvis Rankin and Aeronom is about 27 seconds. And a average total pit stop time is 48:12.
This is interesting now. Look at this on screen here. Elvis Rankin and Mike Dam are in a whole world of traffic. This could be critical to the outcome of this race. If Aeronom is able to stay out, well, look at this. Elvis Rankin furiously flashing his lights, meaning please get out of the way. This is critical for my race result, coming up at the worst time. And look at that, Mike Dam, his car is looking a little bit healthier now.
He's got both mirrors back.
Yeah, that helps, and the wheel looks a little bit better. So yes, that's that. He's definitely, his pit stop's gone well. However, he has lost a little bit of ground to Elvis Rankin. So yeah, this is going to be interesting for Aeronom, of course, from Estonia. You'll see the Estonian flag colours on his helmet there, and of course, Estonia, the country, the current reigning World Rally Champion, Ott Tänak, also hails from Estonia, the neighbouring country to Finland, a very much an area of motor racing talent.
Speaking of amazing helmet designs, if anyone's a fan of IndyCar racing, check out the IndyCar drivers on their Twitters. They've announced their helmets today, and I must say, the helmet that I want the most, and I will, if it goes up to auction, I will sell everything I own to get this helmet. The Max Chilton helmet that he revealed today is absolutely fantastic. It's got the entire Bob Warner trophy on it, just surrounding the entire helmet with the Union flag on there. So if you're a fan of helmet designs, that is something to go look at.
That is very cool. I know what I'm doing after the broadcast. I have to say, I do appreciate a good helmet design. I love that it's one of the only things that the drivers can really put their kind of personal stamp. But one particular driver referred to it as their business card, because when you see a driver's helmet, you know who it is. It's a distinctive one. And Elvis Rankin running the kind of yellow and blue paint scheme on his particular car. Penalty for car number 22. Responsibility for an incident later on, and this is a disaster for Elvis Rankin. Look at all this traffic he's getting caught up with. Oh dear.
He's losing time to Nom.
Big time. Yep.
And turns, that entire sector is just absolutely awful. And that TCR in front of him, he's got a Porsche, which is going to be even more harder to get around because that Porsche is damaged. And this is the kind of blockade runner situation where there's not a lot of room to the right and left, and it's just covered by walls. And you don't want to end up in those walls and get damaged. So he's going to have to persuade himself past the number 60 in front of him, which is Chris Thorman. Yeah. So this is for position technically.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I was just going to say that. It's because Thorman hasn't come into the pit lane yet. This is, you rightly say, Austin, this is for position, so he's not going to move over, and he's not really going to necessarily care who it is. He's just going to go, well, you're the car behind me, I don't want to lose this position. So this is just a disaster for Elvis Rankin. And look, Mike Dam, he's bridged that gap. This is really hurt Elvis Rankin, and this could be absolutely critical for the race with Aeronom going on that longer strategy. Interesting to see, right? Oh, well, there you go. He was knocking out 143s for fun in practice. In fact, only one lap slower than that in practice. So, yeah, Aeronom, this has been a critical point in this race. As Thorman goes to the pit lane, but Elvis Rankin, that'll be a slowdown.
He's got to slow down. He's got to slow down. Elvis Rankin, exactly what happened to Aeronom, and oh my goodness, Kevin Carlisle ate the wall and shot off like a New Year firecracker, went spiraling across the track and landed on the inside of the pit lane. Oh my goodness, I think Carlisle is... I'm glad this is a sim because...
That's a big one.
That's
That
a
is a big
pitchfork
one.
right
Yeah,
there.
I mean, they make those Audis tough, but yeah, that's his race over. Well, Kevin Carlisle, number 727, he could have won in that amazing battle at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks ago, but not going to be so today. Aeronom, look at that blissful solitude for the Estonian. Look at that, there's no
This
one
is the
around
time
him.
to pit. This is the time to pit.
You think? Yeah, well, I
But
don't know. I don't know.
Elvis Rankin got to slow down. Rankin
know.
had to slow down. Aeronom got to slow down when they went to pit. Elvis Rankin, he got to slow down. This is the time to pit for Aeronom. He's up 30 seconds. 32 to Elvis Rankin. If any time's to pit, the pit's now when the morale of your competitor is low. But I'm obviously not Aeronom, and he's going for that lap 22 pit stop. He is stretching it to the limit as we enter lap 21, 35 minutes into this 1 hour race here at Montreal. Tensions are high between the TCR cars and the GT4s, and the traffic is becoming an issue.
Well, it's been a huge issue both for Mike Damon and Elvis Rankin, but I have to say with Aeronom, I cannot believe how much clear air he has, and he is using it to full effect. And I think when you have it, if you look at what he probably won't know unless he's got a very good spotter, he won't know that Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin are having a whole world of pain with traffic behind him. But Aeronom, if he's got the clean air, if you've got it, you've got to use it, and he knows he's got the pace to do it. And I think this has been very much the pendulum swinging point of this race. Make no mistake about it.
Mistakes are going to be costly here. Mike Dam, the leading contender, as I would say, sitting in 4th place, and Elvis Rankin 2 seconds behind him with some traffic, and I think he got some damage too.
He might well have done. That might be explain a little bit, but yeah, it's not been a good sequence of laps at all for Elvis Rankin. Just getting really unlucky with the traffic coming out into an absolute car park, and that just killed his pace. You know, when you're in traffic, it can be multiple seconds, not multiple tenths that you lose. It can be that damaging from time to time. But, well, I tell you what, and look, Aeronom comes into the pits right at the end of the pit window, and that car looks absolutely immaculate. No damage for the Estonian so far. As he comes into pit lane, that car will be in the lane a while because it will have absolutely no fuel left in the tank. This will be fascinating to see how he comes out at the end of this pit stop.
I don't know about you, but Aeronom's feeling like lap 22. Yes, I had that queued up.
I think he's gonna be swift when he comes out of pit lane. That's for sure.
As David Payton, he's staying out, and he's going to be on fumes right now. As Payton takes the lead, Mike Dam, Aeronom, they're having a drag race. Aero's out of the pit lane. He's on the exit of turns 1. Mike Dam is an entire corner behind as Aeronom resumes the net lead of this race by almost 5 seconds ahead of Mike. No. By 2 seconds. I was going off David Payton right there. I am so sorry. By 2 seconds ahead of Mike Dam.
Yeah, Aeronom, just the cards have fallen in his favour for sure. He should, after this race, he should go to the trackside casino because it has just fallen perfectly. Because look at this, number 89, Violet, one of the leading TCR cars. He is there as a perfect pick to just hold up Mike Dam. And Mike Dam's now coming into the hairpin. Can he get by? This is just perfection for Aeronom, allowing him to get his tyres back up to temperature after sitting in pit lane. And he is gone. And well,
he still has that suspension damage. I really want to ride on board with Mike Dam because he will be struggling with that braking, but I'm surprised we didn't see a slide out to the inside. Mike Dam struggling with oversteer on that car, and this is the absolute moment that he does. But if you look at the wheel, it's just a small degree. I don't have my protractor with me, but I would say that's about a 1 degree tip to the left.
Yeah, but it's marginal anyway, that's for sure. But he's doing if that's holding him back, he's doing a great job. And well, I have to be honest, Austin. I think that I would have thought Aeronom actually would have got a little bit more of an advantage coming out of pit lane. So clearly once Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin got out of the traffic, they've really been able to push hard and put in some good lap time as well. So very impressive from both of those guys. And you know, Aeronom, like you said, it's going to come down to mistakes. It always does here at Montreal. Just the tiniest rub of the wall in this race changes completely, or even worse almost, a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, and Aeronom, he picked up a slowdown penalty. Only driver of this top 3 in the last 2 laps in that pit stop changeover sequence that didn't get a slowdown was Mike Dam.
Yep, and that's proved critical, of course, with the lap time so close. A slowdown penalty can cost you sometimes as much as 3 or 4 seconds, depending where you get it. And it is, well, like you say, punishment does not fit the crime. And just the slightest climb over the curb here, and you can be hit with that harsh slowdown penalty. But it's Aeronom, the Estonian. He was dominant here last time out at in the Classic Sprint Series in his Mustang. And well, in this much different little nimble Porsche Cayman, he is doing an incredible job. Just while we've got a moment in action here, folks, we'll take a very brief break to have a little note from our sponsors, Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment Sports Car Series, presented by Proforma Elite Texas Graphics. We are 42 minutes into this race.
We have a safety car out.
We have a safety car. Well spotted. Well, that changes everything, because I must be honest, Austin, quietly in the back of my head I was thinking, well, I think Aeronom's going to clear off with this. I didn't say it out loud, but that's changed it completely. And I tell you what, that's great news for both Mike Dam and particularly Elvis Rankin. He's right back in the thick of it now. We're under almost like a full course caution. We'll be waiting for the Porsche iRacing pace car. Do you hear anything on the radios, Austin?
I'm actually turning on my radio right now so I can hear what is absolutely happening. I'm just making sure that what is happening. I got the race marshal. There is not going to be any wave bys.
Do we know what the pace cars come out for? Is it like a competition caution?
I'm not sure, but the GT4s are coming on, but full course yellow, and then the overall leader has to go at safety car speed, but the GT4s, the pits have opened there, but I am not sure what has actually happened. I'll keep my ears peeled for the radio right now, but this has turned this race onto its head, turned into a dreidel, spun it all around, and we're going to have a 15-minute, I swear, we're going to have a 15-minute sprint race here in Montreal. And, well, if you thought if I just stop talking, it means someone's come over the radio and I'm listening to them.
Okay, I'll let you do that because I've not got access to the radio, Austin. So you listen to that. Interesting stuff here then in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series with Aeronom leading the field round, and this changes everything because Aeronom really was streaking away, and it's going to be up to Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin to really try and break his rhythm, try and get him flustered, because if you get flustered around this particular track, well, it can mean trouble. So all of our drivers heading around now at, like Austin said, safety car speed, and for the TCRs also, that's punched them right back up with Violet. He's got List right behind him, so in TCR it's, well, we could be spoiled to another head-to-head battle heading into the final laps. What a turn up for the books, 15 minutes to go, it's going to be a real sprint. You'll see there on our graphics on the right hand side, the marshal giving instructions. Austin, any more news?
Elvis Rankin's going a little bit too slow.
We don't hear that very often.
Yeah. And the TCRs have gotten the green flag to go into the pits right now, but we got another caution lap to go. I'm not 100% sure why this caution has come out, but we're almost 10 minutes left into this race. But this is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. We probably chose the worst time to go into an ad, but there was a massive accident, I'm getting word, that might have blocked an entire part of the track, and multiple cars got involved with there.
I see. Yeah, that would certainly warrant a full course caution. Of course, we see this. This is the wave around now. So this is what you're seeing here, folks, is the GT4 class. They are getting to the front of the pack, and the TCR class, they're going to the back of the pack. So that basically avoids absolute chaos with the field getting mixed up. So that's the wave arounds happening. So the GT4 field will all be together, the TCR field will all be together. So what that means that hopefully that will mean that we won't have any traffic getting in the way of our battle in either class. So that's good news on that front. So the field completely reset. No need to worry about fuel, tyres, anything like that. It's just going to be a straight dogfight to the end in both GT4 and TCR.
This is absolutely bizarre. TCR is going to be building a 10-second gap, and then the safety car is in this lap. I repeat, the safety car is in this lap, and the starting that these guys are doing on the front straight. So not before the chicane, it's going to be after. We're going to see a 10-minute sprint race here today, and well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you're absolutely ready for a cracking end to this Ricmotech Sports Car Series at Montreal. Aeronom leads out this tightly packed field. Safety car is in this lap, and don't forget, Eric Violet is leading out the TCRs. I think last race was a firecracker finish in the TCRs. I think we're going to get a Nova Bomb finish all over the place.
It's going to be like Independence Day, I think. That's for sure. Of course, if you're wondering where the safety car is, sometimes you don't need the safety car to control the field. We see this often used at the Nürburgring with, yes, code 80 or code 60, sometimes depending, relating to the number of kilometers per hour the cars can go at. So we see that sometimes, particularly at the Nürburgring, at the Nordschleife, you see code 60s an awful lot, where certain sections of the track are put under that speed limit. But we're ready to go here. Aeronom will lead away, and for him, he's probably cursing this caution right now. But always a potential.
No, he's praising this.
Racing. Oh, I don't think so. He had a big gap, so now he's got Mike Dam and Elvis.
Elvis
Rankin's praising it. Oh, he is, for sure. For sure, Elvis
ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think we were going to do this again, but the revs are rising. The heartbeats are too, because the Ricmotech Sports Car Series is back green and racing here for 10 minutes of action here at Montreal.
So they pile down then into the Ayrton Senna chicane. Mike Dam, look at that. You see the body language of his Porsche Cayman. He's all over the gearbox of Aero Nom with Elvis Rankin right at the back. He's now playing rear gunner. So, and Kevin Ford, the leading BMW, he's got back up to 4th place, so the caution definitely helped him. But wow, look at this. The 3 Porsches at the front are just tearing away.
And
Elvis Rankin's, he's had a slowdown penalty. Oh dear.
This race, bad to worse for Elvis Rankin. That's his 2nd slowdown in absolutely crucial points. And now it's a 2-horse battle up at front. Aeronom and Mike Dam up at front, nose to tail with each other. Hartley and Ruddick have gotten into an absolutely honker of a crash, and they've gone into the pits.
Yep, so Mike Dam, he's really got to try and upset Aeronom's rhythm now. He cannot let him stretch away, but I just wonder if that slight damage is going to be slowing him down the straight. We'll get a good look here to see who has got the legs, Aeronom or Mike Dam. It's Aero maybe just pulling away out of the draft, so that's definitely holding Mike Dam up. But as they head into the Wall of Champions, it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, it's up to these 2 drivers. Aeronom, smooth as can be. Mike Dam, the madman behind the wheel. We were riding on board with him, and we seen him handle that wheel like it's a doll that just won't be quiet. And it's just 2 completely different driving styles, 2 completely different drivers, 1 goal, and under 10 minutes to go, Mike Dam looked down to the inside.
Yeah, Mike Dam certainly filling the mirrors of Aeronom's Porsche 718 Cayman, making him think about it. But what a pity for Elvis Rankin. He's well and truly out of the battle for this race win after winning last time out. Don't forget, at Elvis Rankin over this man in 2nd place, Mike Dam in the 93 machine. Well, we are just spoiled. Every week we get fantastic racing here in all of the 3 Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment series.
Yeah, Aeronom, Mike Dam leading out, and in our TCR class, I think we're in a little bit of an Independence Day treat here, because hello boys, they're back. Violet, List, Madigan, Whitworth, 4-car TCR battle, bumper to bumper with each other, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a TCR bump draft in action.
Well, we saw how that went last time. Not well, it ended in tears, but it sounds like there is only one way in the TCR battle. Andrew List and the number 89 of Violet battling away absolutely bumper to bumper. Well, we'll see what we're going to have there. I think Mike Dam actually just coming out of the one of the corners on the previous lap. I think he maybe just rubbed the wall. He certainly had an oversteer moment, but back with the TCRs, number 89 of Violet, we know he's got really good pace, but List is right there. Not sitting time directly in the draft, but let's see if he can drag his way up behind Violet. Violet being very fair, running straight, not weaving around on the straight. Very, very gentlemanly indeed as they head into the Wall of Champions, and they're going to launch these TCR touring cars over the curbs. Up and a skip. There we go. Back onto the front straight.
That's a good exit for List. He's staying within that draft, and it's an absolute train of Audis right there. And the Audi customer racing program is going to be smiling their teeth off. This is great advertising, but List has gone wide and deep into turn 2. He's going to have a better exit coming into turns 3, and he's going to have a good run. Violet looking down to the inside, going back regularly. List has to get out of the way just a little bit as they're diving into turn 3 and 4, avoiding that wall as they come into turns 5. And heading into turn 6, which is a good opportunity to make a surprise move down to the inside, as we saw Whitworth looking down there. I think he just gone wide out of turn 5. And turn 6 and 7, it's a tricky chicane, but look at List. He's using all that track. Violet just minimizing the amount of space around him, but that is hurting his ability to hold off the charging List.
Yeah, this is not just a two-car battle now. This is, like you say, Austin, it's an absolute train. Watch for the number 42 of Brandon Whitworth. He's come alive. He's now up into 4th place, and his championship rival, Carlisle, well, he is out of the reckoning here after that big crash straight into the wall of champions. And they're all just bunching together here, coming through the Lapingle hairpin and up the Casino Straight. It is just a train of Audis here. I tell you what, you'll only see Audis driving closer together than you do on the highway.
Yeah, Audi doesn't run in a stock car series, but if they did, it would kind of look like this. Andrew List on the bumper. Madigan and Whitworth having their own battles for that final podium spot. Whitworth got a very bad entrance. He was a little bit early onto the brakes. He was right on the bumper of Madigan in 3rd place. And Madigan, they're falling away from the charging Andrew List and Eric Violet up at the start of this TCR field, and Aaron Nam at the GT4 field. He's pulled a 8/10 gap in the lead as Andrew List looks down to the inside. He's selling dummies left and right as they were hotcakes, or as you would say, some Montreal flat tires.
Absolutely, yeah, flat tires indeed. Eric Violet furiously having to defend Andrew List, just showing his headlights in the mirrors, just weaving around saying, I am here, but you just feel like the cork is about to fly out the bottle here in this TCR battle. They're obviously waiting to the very last moment to make their move. You feel like the drivers here, Austin, they're just keeping their cards close to their chest right now, not showing their hand just yet.
Well, I can tell you, the team owner is freaking out because it's D2D, 1-2, and we got Whitworth, another D2D car, in 3rd.
He'll
In 4th, I mean.
Plenty horses in the race, that's for sure. Did someone say multi-21? No, they did not. This is touring car racing.
Oh my goodness!
This is proper.
Look at the back of Madigan. Madigan's car is absolutely caked in there, and it's arching like a teepee. It looks like Whitworth got to the back of Madigan, and can we get a no-shot of Whitworth so we can just look at the back of Madigan's car and how much dented in that car is. That is a bump draft from hell right there.
Yeah, that is looking rather second-hand. That's looked like somebody's fitted a Mansory body kit to it. Not very nice indeed. Just over 3 minutes to go. We are right in the business end of this race. Eric Violet, what can you say about him? The number 89.
Oh, look at Madigan, Madigan.
Oh, Madigan's getting passed here by Whitworth, it looks like. Can Whitworth make it
No! What a hold by the nerd!
Yeah, there you go. We've been waiting to say that all race. The 39 of Madigan holds Whitworth off, and we know how fierce Whitworth can be. And all the while, Henderson Knox, he's just at the back, ready to profit from any mistake. And look at that, we've got a 2-car breakaway at the front. Violet and List, they've broken away from these guys. Madigan goes to the defensive line, and they get tangled. Oh, did well not to end up in a spin there. But Whitworth, we know he's not shy of a little bit of contact, and well, isn't that what touring car racing is all about?
Well, this is the British Touring Car Championship, absolutely. And Madigan defending down to the inside, and Whitworth gets to the back, and he turns him around! Whitworth has turned Madigan around, and that is a penalty I can see coming, and Knox is saying, thank you, I'm going to get it in a 3rd.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if that came through on your radio. I didn't hear. I saw that Whitworth was on the radio. I'm sure he was saying, "Oh, sorry, I feel terrible about that. Honestly, I really do. I just feel awful. Oh well." But look at this. Yes, this is interesting, Austin, because he gets into the back of him in the braking zone again, and when he sees him go, he doesn't lift off. Absolutely not. He follows through and he gets him round. Oh yeah, big time.
He pulled a UFC body slam right there, and that is going to be a hefty penalty and a stern talking to after this race in the driver briefing.
Now, look at this. All the while, wow, we almost need 2 separate broadcasts. We need to do 2 separate commentaries, Austin, because look at this. Aeronom, all of a sudden, He's 7 seconds ahead of Mike Dam, and he's got. How did that happen?
Wait a minute, what?
Yes, look. And Aero.
Did Mike Dam have a slowdown or something? Or
must have. And all of a sudden he's got Elvis Rankin for company.
There was a safety car 10 minutes ago. How has Aeronom pulled a 7-second gap in 10 minutes? Oh, he's just putting down constant 144s. While the entire rest of the field are putting down 146, 147. The only car that was putting in 144s was Mike Dam, but something has happened this lap that Mike Dam put down a... Well, it's not... His time's not actually showing up. Mike Dam has had an invalidated lap and a slowdown. That's why his time didn't show up for us.
Strange. Well, back with the TCRs, Violet and Les, they are glued together. No need for a timing screen there. This is all coming down to the very last moment. So this will be their final lap then. They're coming over the line, taking the white flag here in Montreal. So it's now or never as we see the number one, the leading driver, Aeronom. He's coming towards the hairpin now, so not long for them. And Mike Dam and Elvis Rankin will have to fight over second place.
Yeah, absolutely. As the TCRs are nose to tail the teammates. Ooh. I'm pretty sure after what happened to Whitworth, they don't want to have any more drama, but knowing the drivers, they're going to race it out, and I think we're going to get a little bit of Bahrain 2014 right here.
Certainly will. It's getting Andrew List. You can tell he's been very, very patient, but that patience has run out, and he's going to have to go. Oh, Violet goes to the inside. That's very defensive line from Violet there. List is right on the back bumper. Oh, penalty. Car 42. Penalty in TCR. That's Whitworth. 30-second penalty post-race. I have to be honest, that's the right call. As Aeronom comes over the line, and Mike Dam just edges out Elvis Rankin for the GT4 victory, but we go back to the TCRs. Eric Violet coming into the hairpin. He goes to the end. Yeah, List gets the look at that. He gets the switch back. Drag race.
Held back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's down to the casino straight. List down to the inside. Violet around the outside. Who's going to put it all on red? Who's going to put it all onto the black? And who's got lucky number 7 all down in there? Because it's a battle between 61 and 42. Nose to nose, wheel to wheel. They're heading in. They're bumping and banging into the final chicane. And Andrew List was held out. Violet held down onto the inside. Didn't leave any room. And taking the win is going to be Eric Violet in the TCR class. And coming in third, it's going to be Henderson Knox. Finishing this race in third place because Whitworth, 30-second time penalty. He's going to be finishing in 8th.
Well, a costly error indeed. Good finish for Kevin Ford, one of the only BMWs in the field, in 5th place. Good finish for him. Well, another thriller here in the Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment Sports Car Series. Well, an absolute cracker. Aeronom, a deserved winner. He had the pace all day. And well done Mike Dam, nursing a damaged car for most of the race, keeping the wonder kid Elvis Rankin behind him, just going over the line. But in TCR, well, Violet, he was supreme there as well, holding off an unbelievable amount of pressure from Andrew List, and they clashed at the final chicane, but Violet still able to hold strong and taking the victory. Wow, what a thriller, Austin.
This was an absolute thriller. What a race. Oh, I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating from that.
Well, while you get your breath back, Austin, and go and take a throat lozenge, we're going to break for a ever so slight break from our sponsors, Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, presented by Proforma Elite Texas Graphic. We're going to take a very short ad break. We'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere for post-race reaction. Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, where we have just been treated to another absolute cracker of a race in both GT4 and TCR. We already have our TCR winner, Eric Violet, joining us in the commentary box. Eric, congratulations on an incredible victory. Tell us all about your race today. He's gone. He's. I hope I haven't offended him. No, here he is. Here he is. Eric, I was just saying, what a fantastic victory today in the TCR class. Congratulations. Tell us all about that finish.
Oh my God. Well, I think I had a 13-second or a 12-second lead over third. I had like 5 seconds on Jim. I didn't take any tires, and it was a gamble because I think you only gain about 3 seconds total between the tire fall off and the times and all that stuff. It's like a 3-second delta, but I was banking on traffic. And it worked out awesome. I have to see what happened to Madigan, but holy crap, when that full course caution came out, I just went, I'm dead. I mean, I'm just going to be a sitting duck because Jim took tires or Andrew List took tires. And with all those guys back there, and I have to watch the replay or watch the broadcast. I know Whitworth got into Madigan a couple times. I heard a couple sorry, so I don't know what happened there, but good God, that was crazy. And then Jim wasn't giving me any quarter. We were battling out. It was not team orders there. I don't know if you saw the TCR finish, but I mean we played chicken into that last chicane, and we were bouncing off each other all over the place.
Well, I don't know how far away you live from Texas, but you might have been able to hear Austin, my fellow commentator, screaming at the excitement in the TCR finish. So yeah, we saw it. Oh yeah, we saw it. And Brandon Whitworth actually given a 30-second penalty for that contact at the hairpin. So that was what that was about. And wow, tell us about the. Of course, we see so many dramatic images of touring cars launching over curves, but here at Montreal, these curbs are vicious. Tell us about getting the car ready, getting it set up, getting it nicely composed, because it's a real challenge.
Yeah, it really is. These things, the shocks were really crazy on this one. You're watching all the telemetry, you're looking at all that stuff, and you can just see it bouncing around. I mean, it's just people talk about squiggly lines. Yeah, it's squiggly lines here. And trying to get the fronts to react with the rears is a bit of a challenge too, because you come off the bump and if the front's bouncing, you're not getting any traction. And there's a couple places like going into turn one, there's like this little dip there, and it can hook your left. So I mean, there's all kinds of danger around here. It's like a bunch of traps around this track.
Certainly is, and well, you mastered them. Eric, while you're live here on Apex Racing TV, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely. Proformer Elite Texas Graphics. Chris Thorman has been sponsoring us for the last couple of years. He's awesome as a team owner. My teammates have been great. Jim and I are swapping setups back and forth, and unfortunately, I gave him my setup, and I said, I think you got a better setup, and you got all the talent too. So I was lucky to be able to keep him back there. Ricmotech, again, for sponsoring this league. They've been doing this for a long time. You guys for the broadcast. Extreme Motorsports, great league. Love this league. And just a shout out to my fans. I think I got Igor watching this first race, longtime friend, finally got into iRacing, so I think this is the first one he watched. I got Emmy, always a pleasure, and Scott, my brother-in-law. So just an awesome race. Thank you, guys.
Oh, well, a very well-deserved victory. Eric, go and enjoy it, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again very soon up here in the Apex Racing TV commentary box.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Eric Violet, your TCR winner, and I believe we have our GT4 winner as well, Aeronom, who is with my esteemed colleague, Austin Knight.
Well, Aero, it was a race that was a bit sweet, and then it turned a bit sour, and then it got sweet again, and then it turned extremely sour, and then it turned sweet. Are you ready to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride?
Yeah, I think I just made it too hard myself. I think again the start was terrible. Cold tires and breaking point. Yeah.
So earlier on the race, you had a little bit of an incident heading into the chicane where both Elvis and Mike went into the pits, and you actually got a slowdown coming out of there. What was your mindset at that moment? Did you entirely change your strategy? Were you always going to go to lap 22, all the way up to lap 22 for the pits, or were you thinking about something else?
Yeah, definitely. When I was messed up there, I knew I had to make time up, and I had a little bit gap in front. And luckily, I think every car in front of me beat that, so I was very lucky to do quali laps basically before the.
All right. Well, it was a good win, but we have to talk about those last 10 minutes. What was going through your head when that safety car was called out?
I know, yeah, I knew Mike is very good in the first part of the attack, so I made sure I don't mess up the braking points. Very hard to pass there, so I think I did my fastest lap after the safety car, so the tires was still good. Yeah, just not to make a mistake in the last chicane. It was so hard. If you go too slow, you mess up, so you had to be in the middle somewhere.
All right. Well, you took great win today in a dominating fashion. A little bit of chaos happened behind you, but I think you're pretty okay with that. You put in a 1:43.94 for the fastest lap of the race, and I'm pretty sure that's another grand slam for you. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
I like to thank all the lead admins, drivers out here, and you guys in the booth.
All right. Well, thank you, Arrow. Have yourself a great night, and it's over to Peter.
Oh, hopefully we can get a little chat with our number 93, Mike Dam, our second place finisher. Hopefully we can get him to come and join us. Mike Dam, congratulations on a fantastic second place finish, just edging out the Wonder Kid Elvis Rankin on the line there. Now, your Porsche Cayman looked a little bit second hand for most of that race. Tell us, were you nursing some damage over that race?
Well, you know what? My pit crew told me it was going to be a few minutes to repair that, but I said no. So, yeah, I hit the wall numerous times tonight, and that definitely cost me. At the end of the race there, I was in Ero's draft, and I wasn't gaining any time. So there's that.
I see. So it was mainly a straight line issue, could you say?
Yeah, absolutely. My car felt pretty good through the twisties. I definitely could keep up, but yeah, just that top end wasn't there. So, yeah, I think me and Elvis together were just trying to see if we could hold Euro off, and I think we did so pretty good for the beginning of the race at least for sure. And but yeah, I just made too many mistakes, and that cost me in the end. So.
Well, certainly, if that's you making mistakes, Mike, I need to understand what it is that you're doing, because that is very impressive indeed to get that car home in second place. After a podium last week in the RSR, Porsche at Zolder, and then another podium here in the GT4. Of course, next time in the Ricmotech series, we're off to we're off to Le Mans. How are you feeling heading into that one?
Whoa, which series is that?
The GT Challenge. We're off to Le Mans in a week's time.
Okay, there we go. That'll be definitely a shakeup, for sure. Not sure which car's gonna have the advantage there yet, but definitely going to be a patience race with all the long straights. So we'll have to work on the strategy for that one.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, thank you so much for coming to join us in the commentary box here on Apex Racing TV. I'm looking forward to having another chat again very soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
So I think we've got time just for one more interview here on Apex Racing TV. Our second place finisher in TCR is with my colleague, Austin Knight.
I am standing by with Andrew Lewis, who is a part of that massive, a firework cracker of a last lap in the TCRs. Andrew, how was those last 10 minutes, man?
It's a mouthful, man. I'm impressed you got through that. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun race. You know, I got a little aero damage in front early on, so passing on the straights was hard. But I mean, this track is so hard to pass on, and Eric did such a good job. I mean, he was in a class of his own all day. I mean, I knew he had really good speed early on, and me and him were just kind of biding our time and, protecting our tires. And we went on two separate strategies to see if it would pay off. And it paid off with him getting out there with the track position. And yeah, I just couldn't pass him. And, I wasn't going to take that risk on taking us both out, but we almost did at the end. We tried to give everybody something to show. But yeah, we were both on the radio to each other saying, "Are you going to lift?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "Are you going to lift?" He was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess we'll see what happens." But yeah, well, we had a good time. I had a great time this race.
Was the D2D team owner on your radios at any all saying, "What if you lift? Dang it."
Yeah, well, he's actually at home watching right now. He couldn't make it, but no, we both kind of discussed it over the radio real quick. Like, hey, we built up a gap. Let's race each other. And Eric's one of the guys who I trust going side by side with in any corner. So I knew it was going to work out.
So when that safety car came out, what was going through y'all's head?
It was some expletives that I can't repeat right now, but I mean, it wasn't a good thing for us because we built up that huge gap, and we were just kind of maintaining it, and we were both kind of on our own strategies, and yeah, as soon as that came out, kind of put a wrench in the whole thing. But at the start, we gapped each other a little bit, and we gapped the rest of the field, and they just couldn't keep up with us. So at the end of the day, I think we made the right decision with how we were going to restart that race and how we ended up racing it from there.
Well, it came out in a DTD 1-2. You're on the podium. You get to lift the trophy, and with another memorable TCR finish to date. I would say it's a great race for you and the DTD team. So before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Oh yeah, Ricmotech. I want to thank everybody from the league, all the admins and everything. Performa, I'd like to thank them. Texas Graphics, they do good work. And all the team. We practice really. We practice a lot for this track, and we ended up pulling off a 1-2. So I just want to thank all of those guys.
Well, it's a great race for you, and congratulations on a great finish and getting the car across the line. We're going to go back to Peter.
Thank you very much, Austin. A very interesting chat there with hearing about the team tactics. That's a new one, isn't it? It's saying, are you going to lift? No, of course not. Fantastic stuff. So let's have a little look about what to expect in the upcoming weeks with the Ricmotech series. Next up is a special one. August 17th, the GT Challenge series at, well, one of the finest venues anywhere in the world for not only just for racing but for sport in general. The Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. We have a feature-length race at Le Mans with our GT E cars and GT3 cars. It's going to be an absolute cracker around that wonderful historic circuit. Then we have a little bit of a break, and we're back on September 14th for the Classic Sprint Series, which will be back home in Indiana at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. And then a week later, we return to Indy for the SportsCar Series. So if you enjoyed what you saw today in the Ricmotech SportsCar Series, be sure to tune into those races. Myself and my colleague Austin Knight will be delighted to see you there. That's all we've got time for tonight on Apex Racing TV. Thanks so much to our sponsors Ricmotech and Proforma Elite Texas Graphics for their support of this series. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next week for the GT Challenge at Le Mans. Good night.